So you came here for a squad builder review. I'm going to give it to you right now. But if you want to save yourself the 20-odd minutes that this video is, the TLDR is don't use it. Use Yasby or Launchbay next. If you want to hear some hot takes and my full opinion, including some good things, keep on watching. Hello, everybody. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and today we are going to be doing a review of the second version of the official Squadron builder for the X-Wing Miniatures game. Now, if you watched our previous review of the first version of the app, you knew that there was a lot of issues, and to be completely honest, if I go back and look at my previous review, I was too nice. I gave them a rating of 3.5 out of 5, and I would like to amend that that review to say that it's probably should have been more like a 2 out of 5. We'll see where we end up today, but we're basically going to be taking the same approach that we did last time. We're going to be looking at the accessibility, appearance, squad building experience, and the extra features that are built into the app and give a score at the end depending on how it goes. Now, for our purposes of viewing it today, we're going to be using the desktop version as it is the easiest to record, but as we come up with different issues that might be specific to the mobile app, I will go ahead and bring those up. Let's go ahead and talk about accessibility. So, just like before, it's available on Apple, Android, and of course on the PC, and that's the version we're going to be using today during our review. Now, they have made some improvements in accessibility. Previously, typing in Google, which let's be honest, most people don't type URLs. Most people Google things. So now, if you actually Google X-Wing Squad Builder, it is the top result. Now, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest. This might show my bias. It's not the best solution, but it is the first result, and I think the official squad builder should be, as it is an introduction to most new players. So you go ahead and click on it, and this is where we end up. So good job to Asmodee and FFG for making sure that it's a little bit, it was more optimized in the search engine so that people could actually find it. Previously, there was a pretty big accessibility issue with requiring internet at all times in order for the phone apps to function. Of course, if you're using it on a computer, you have internet. That's how you're able to access a website. But now, the new version allows you to actually save your squad information locally on your device. This is actually a huge game changer. Again, not something that I don't use it personally, but for anybody who is either required for an event to use the official squad builder or a new player, you want them to be able to use their device to build squads at any time. And there are plenty of times, being on the subway or if you're at a convention hall, where you don't have, you might not have a signal for your phone. Now you can build those squads without worrying about a connection. Another fantastic accessibility feature here in the official squad builder is that it does support different languages. It supports English, French, German, and Spanish, the 4 main languages that the game is printed in. If you're on the phone app, it is also available. Hit the settings cog on the bottom of the screen and click on where it says English, and you'll have the other options available. Now, let's talk about the appearance. Here we are. We're on the splash page for it. We'll also give you a look at the app screen now. It looks and feels like an official Star Wars product. It looks really good. The different windows are consistent throughout. It carries that feel. Really, really like it. The UI definitely looks better than it did before. The other one wasn't bad, but let's just be honest, this one does look a lot nicer. I want to talk about some of the extra features, and I'm putting them under extra features mostly because they are pieces that go beyond the actual squad building experience, but they help to make the squad builder more usable or unusable, and this is where we can find some of the hiccups. Let's talk about actually signing in so that you can save your squads. Now, if you don't have an account yet, you will go ahead and click My Account and sign up, and you'll create an asmodee.net account, and you'll be good to go. But here's one thing that is a little confusing / misleading, and I'll explain here in a little bit. If you go to My Account and you press Sign In, okay, you'll see all these different options down here. And this looks, on the surface, looks fantastic. And a lot of us use applications, and we will sign in through Google, and you'll click it, you'll authorize your Google account, and you'll go from there. The problem with this, or that I find a little bit deceptive slash misleading, and not necessarily in a like a devious way, but we would assume, like in most apps, when you would click Google and you would enter in your sign-in information here, that you would be done. That's it, and you'd be able to log into the app. After going through the steps, it actually brings you back to creating an Asmo. It literally brings you back to this page right here, and it puts the email that you put in for Google and tells you to make a brand new password for an Asmodee.net account, and then it lets you in. So really what signing in with Google does, at least, you know, the second time, is that it would link the two together for a second or third device. But on the initial device, signing in with Google is really more like a, you know, link your account that you're about to make to Google. That way it's easier later. One of the other features that exists in the Squad Builder is a card database, which I think is really important for people who just want to quickly look up an ability. They were wondering about a ship. There's lots of different situations that can come up why you would want a card database, and it does exist in here. It has improved, but the searchability has improved. There are some pet peeves that I have in here just a little bit. So let's just go ahead and look up Wedge Antilles. You'll see on the PC, as I start typing it out, it immediately comes up. Here it is. Now, things I like. I really like that we can see a maneuver chart. You see the maneuvers for that pilot. Now, right now in the game, we don't have any pilots that have a different maneuver set compared to their other pilots on the same ship, but I guess this leaves that open as design space at some point. I really like that they've included the slots that you can see there. What I don't like is that we don't actually get to see the card. Now, most likely this decision was made to take the actual, you know, print of the card out of the app so that people wouldn't maybe print their own copies. I'm not sure if that was a concern of theirs, but I don't like that, mostly because I'm a very visual person personally, and I like to see, if I'm looking up a card, I identify while playing the different pilots by what the card looks like. Here, I don't ever get to see the card. So, small complaint, but let's talk about some of the other pluses here. I also really like that they've greatly improved the search functions here. If you click on, if you saw that there, the three little bars there, that's a sort here. You actually can see the different filters that you're able to put on. And compared to the previous Squad Builder, which, to be completely honest, the filters did not work, not all the time at least, and they were set up in a nonsensical way, to be completely honest. This just works. So if you're building a specific list and you want something very specific, I want a Imperial ship that costs currently, you know, less than 60 points and is a medium base ship. You'll see it start continuing to filter there, and there are other things you can filter. You can start like, all right, and I also want it to have three attack dice minimum, and you know, you can bring that up here. It has to have 3, so no 2 attack ships. What are some other things? I mean, there's lots of different parts that you can start to filter out, and you'll see it even includes upgrades that fit your criteria as well. This is fantastic. Now, if you want to reset the filter, you're just going to go ahead and click this button here on the top to reset the filter, and you're good to go. So really, my only complaint there is that we don't get to see the actual card, but the filter has improved. Now, while the filters have improved, there is still one issue that existed in the old card browser in here, and that is that the search bar, really what it's doing, it's looking at all the text on an entire card and searching for it. So you can't necessarily use it to find abilities such as Ion, for instance, because when you type in Ion, it's looking for every instance of ION anywhere. So that would, for instance, bring up the word action. So right here, this first pilot here, this Blade Squadron Veteran, actually you look for where is ion in here, ION right here, gyro stabilization, ION. That's the ion it's picking up. Also, when you type in something like evade, it is looking for the word evade. It doesn't necessarily look for any time the evade symbol is used. So for instance, here on Loric, it specifically has the word evade in it. But if there are cards that have the evade symbol used in the ability, it would not come up in this search. So it's a little bit picky, but be mindful when you're using the card browser. The search function is very text-based, only the text on the cards, no symbols. Now let's look at collection tracking. We actually have an improvement here. You go to My Account, you go to My Collection right here, and here it is. So in my example, I have given myself 5 core sets and nothing else. There's this little checkbox at the top that says Track Collection in Squad Details. So what does this mean? If you want the squad builder to only let you use cards and pilots that you own, you want to actually click that. Now, you can actually build with the stuff you don't own, but it will warn you. I'll show you an example. So 5 core sets, that means I have 5 X-Wings and 10 TIE Fighters. Now, if I go to Squadrons, and obviously I don't own any Scum and Villainy. You can still click on Scum. We can make a squad here. Let's add a ship, and I'm going to add IG-88A. The warning will pop up right here. It says, one warning, there's a great disturbance in the force. Check your warnings. You click on that, and it says right there, insufficient cards owned. It will tell you right there, you don't have enough. Now, it actually does specify right there, IG-88A. Now, let's go ahead and actually take not only a pilot we don't own, but let's take an upgrade we don't own, which would be the IG-2000, which is the title specifically for this, and a second warning does pop up for that card. Let's talk about squad shareability. You can't share your squad in the X-Wing official squad builder, but there are some issues. Let's take a look here. You have your standard export symbol here. This is used in a lot of apps in order to export. You click it, you get 4 options here: Facebook, Twitter, FFG forum, and create PDF. Now, one thing I do want to note is that each of your squads, as you save them, does create a unique URL, if you guys watch up here, for that squad. But you cannot copy this link and send it to somebody, and I'll show you why here in a second. If you want to actually send somebody a URL, that direct option isn't available here. It is inside of this FFG forum post option. You click it, it links to the clipboard, and it gives you text that looks like this. Okay, you have the ships, and this is essentially formatted for use in a forum. And down here is the actual link to the squad for anybody to use it. Now, let's do a quick compare and contrast. You'll notice as I bring the URLs next to each other, the reason you can't use your original URL to share this is the formatting. Here, this is squadronbuilder.fantasyflightgames.com/saved squads because it's in your account, and here when you share it with somebody, it's squad preview. Now, all these numbers at the end will end up being different as well. I'm not a huge fan of this method. It sent a lot of extra text that you don't need. It's not fast, and I would prefer, a very simple way to share my squads. Now, also, there are people who will look at this and not realize that this will give a direct link to the squads to somebody else. So that's a problem. I would like a link here. Developer, add a link, please. Copy squad URL, and the URL that is in that FFG forum BB code that you made there, just have it be there. It's a simple step. It's less confusion, because if I'm not a power user, someone who's brand new, maybe I don't want to be on the forums. I see this FFG forum, that's telling me, oh, it wants me to post it to FFG forum. It doesn't feel like I have a very easy way to export this squad. So I have a problem with that. Now, when it comes to creating a PDF, this is what you get. It has a lot of great information, really good visuals, clean design, even has a QR code reader for use in order to share and download. Maybe could be used in the future for tournament check-in. I do not like the fact that you're not able to edit your name. I would like a way to edit my name on there more than just printing this out, taking a Sharpie marker and writing my name in there. Could cause some issues in tournament check-in if somebody just prints this out and gives it, and they've, their tournament name is different than their FFG Forum account name. I do like that the squad builder version is here so that you can check that you are using the same points and format. So is it shareable? Yes. Is the method for shareability great? No. Your other options, of course, are Facebook, which gives you a direct post, a link to that preview, squad preview link in there. You could also hit the Twitter option, which does that, and you can share. So social media wise, it has those features built in, which is fantastic, but I just want to share my squad. It doesn't really have that, not in an obvious way, at least. And the last feature I want to talk about before we actually get into the squad building experience is the fact that you are able to make custom game modes. Now, I didn't do anything too fancy in this one. I was just kind of clicking around. But you are allowed to give it a name, be able to adjust the points, and you can really specify the specific upgrades that you want in the in your format. Now, the squad building restrictions still apply when you're doing this, so you can't go too crazy with it, but it does give you a lot of flexibility, and you can share your custom format by clicking this button. It copies a URL to your clipboard and you send it off to somebody. Now, you do need to be signed in order to actually access the different custom modes. You can see right there, I just pasted it in here. I'm not signed in this account, and it says you are not logged in. Log in order to view the custom format, which is great. And again, I know I'm going back to this, but this button right here, giving you a direct URL to exactly what you want to look at, is showing you that FFG could very easily build in this automatic export on a clipboard without having to worry about all this convoluted buttons that they had for exporting the Squadron. But really, really cool here. A use case is if you're building a custom format and you want to use the custom app to at least relay what you want. You can set up an event and you have a link, say, click on this link and build your squad, so you can have it there. One issue though is that it does, when you create this custom format, it doesn't allow you, or at least I have not found yet as of today, November 30th, 2020, it doesn't allow me to say, all right, you have to keep everything in its own faction. It automatically allows you to do cross-faction, and if you don't want that for your event, make sure that you specify that to your players, because when you actually get into building the squads for this, it's going to let you basically do whatever you want. That is the only list building restrictions, that it does not allow you to click on and off. All right, let's talk about the biggest piece, and that is the actual squad building experience. And I want to say that while things have improved, I still don't recommend using the squad builder because it has some, in my opinion, inexcusable mistakes in it. Creating a squad, once you are logged in, is very simple. You click the plus sign, you choose your faction. We're going to go ahead and choose a Republic squad. Now, we add a ship. I will say that the UI is optimized a little bit better for phones than it is for a computer, but I'm not going to worry about those specific problems. I'm going to worry about the problems that everybody suffers regardless of the platform. So you click the plus sign to add a ship, and we have a bunch of options here. We're going to go ahead and add a Red Squadron bomber to our squad. And in order to actually add it all the way, we do have to click that check mark. But here's our opportunity to put upgrades on it. So you can go ahead and add whatever you need by clicking the buttons here. You can have your different options. Pretty simple. It works as expected. Now, we haven't quite added the pilot to our squad yet, so we have an opportunity to still click on different pilots. Now let's do a little experiment. If we have a Y-wing bomber here with, this is broadside, with an R4 astromech. If we click on the Shadow Squadron pilot, it does not allow us to transfer that set of upgrades, regardless whether it's one or you have all the slots filled, to the next pilot. I find that to be a little bit cumbersome. I'd like to be able to switch out points quickly and be able to use our, switch out pilots quickly and be able to see how it affects my squad total up here. A little bit cumbersome, not a fan of that. But let's stick with broadside right here and find another issue. If we go to talent slots, you'll see that the upgrades are in price order, which is fantastic. That helps you kind of see what things are in your budget. But if you're looking for something specific and you know exactly what you're looking for, and this is especially a problem on the phone, because the phone only has one upgrade per row, that is the fact that the upgrades that are in the same price point they're not in any order. That makes sense. Not the one that I found. And if you know what it is, leave me the comment down below. But marksmanship, composure, deadeye shot, and March table closure are all 1 point. What is the order? Doesn't make any sense. At first, I was thinking maybe it had to do something with the equip costs. The equip requirements, which you can see under each of the titles. But as you start to examine some of the other upgrades, that method doesn't stay true anymore. Or probably best would be a double sort, cost and then alphabetical order. But how about we actually add the search function here? They had a fantastic search bar, while not a smart search bar. They had some great ways to sort and find different cards you're needing. Why is that not built into this page? It should be. All right, we're going to go ahead and we'll add expert handling to this Y-wing. One thing that I really do like is that they added the maneuver chart here, as well as all the other information you would need, as knowing how much attack, defense, hull, and shields it has, and its action bar. Any abilities are here as well. That's fantastic. To add it to the squad, we would click a check mark. But on this Republic Y-wing is a perfect opportunity to see one of the first issues that comes up. Now, it's not super obvious, especially if you're not a veteran of the game or you're not familiar with all the cards that are available, but there is a card in the game called Veteran Turret Gunner. Now, Veteran Turret Gunner is a card that allows you to shoot twice. You have to have the rotate action, and when you add a turret weapon to these Y-wings, it adds the rotate action to your action bar, which would then allow you to equip Veteran Turret Gunner. I should now gain access to the Veteran Turret Gunner card, and when I click on here, you will notice that it's not here. This is where we start to get into some of my major issues with the squad builder, and that is that it does not follow squad building rules at all times. I think the most basic function that this squad builder needs to have is for it to have legal combinations of ships at all times. Because when players join the game and they're brand new, they find this squad builder first. There is a level of feels bad that can happen when a player builds a squad in the official squad builder. They go to their first tournament, whether it's in person or digital, and they're ready to play, and they find out that they either could have done something that the squad builder did not even allow them to do, or worse yet, put an illegal upgrade on your ship that wouldn't have been possible. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. This needs to be righted. And additionally, there's nowhere on here or on the app that I have found at this moment, this is November 30th, 2020, that allows you to actually report problems or mistakes. I can complain on the FFG forums, but there's no way for me to get this out there. And especially now with the transition going over to Atomic Mass Games, at least right now, again, November 30th, 2020, there's who do I communicate with? I don't know, and I think this is something that I'm glad that they updated it, but this isn't okay. This has to be fixed. Now, let's talk about some other quality of life issues that I think exist in this. We already talked about the fact that you can't switch pilots on the fly, and that is true. You know, I've added it to the squad. Let's say you end up with 201 points, and you were like, all right, I want to keep this Y-wing in my squad, but I want to change it to another one. You have to go to add a ship, go through the entire process of doing it, and then go back and delete the pilot you want. There is no fast way to keep all the upgrades you want and then just swap out the pilot. It's not possible. There's no way and nowhere for me to do that. My suggestion, have a drop-down menu right here, or a button that pops out a window to change the pilot, and keep all the things the same. And if something doesn't work, for instance, like you end up selecting a pilot that doesn't have a talent or a certain slot anymore, that just gets deleted off of there. It is that simple. Or it pops up one of those really fancy warnings that it has, says, you know, there's an illegal upgrade on this pilot. That should be something that's a fast functionality thing that I think should be in there. All the community squad builders have this. I'm not a fan. Can you guys tell? I'm sorry. I'm biased. I like the community ones better. And I think if you get out of the, like, it's the official app, I will only use the official thing. If you move yourself away from that position and you try to look at it objectively, you could see the problems that we have here. Now, what are some other nice things that it has? Well, I like that you have the ability to track your wins and losses. I know some people are really, really into that. That's fantastic. You can also change the game mode that you're building in. Extended, hyperspace, epic, and any other game modes you want. They also has this option for no game mode, which is where it defaults to, which just lets you have everything. One of the other quality of life things that they did add into it is they allow you to copy a pilot. So you wouldn't do this. It actually will let you do it with a unique pilot, but it comes up as an error because that's an illegal squad. If you have a generic pilot that you wanted to add, let's go ahead and just throw in a Jedi Knight with CLT. It will allow you to just copy that over, and you'll see that the squad total there does change. Okay. And copying it as many times as you need. And then you can edit the individual pilots if you wanted to, except for the fact that you cannot edit the pilot, what pilot it is. What if I want this to be Obi-Wan Kenobi? No, false, illegal. You may not. So, squad building experience, it's all right. It's not fantastic. It looks pretty. I'll tell you that. It is a good-looking squad builder, but there are some major issues here. In order to test our claims, by the way, of this being a slow squad builder, we're going to have a beginner X-Wing player use 3 different squad builders, and we're going to time her to see how things go. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can catch that video when it comes out. And trust me, the FFG squad builder doesn't do great. All right, so what's my conclusion here? To be completely honest, as I said at the beginning of the video, my original assessment of the first version of this app was way too nice, and I did not hold back during this one. I talked about all the things that improved, which is great, but there are still glaring issues when the official app directly contradicts the official PDFs that were supposed to be our guide to how to build squads. When your official squad builder doesn't follow that, it sets up brand new players, which are the lifeblood of a game, and the community for failure. So I think that's a problem. I think it's inexcusable, and my rating for this squad builder for right now is a big do not use. I'm not going to give it a score out of 5. Don't use it is my recommendation. There are other resources that I'm going to link in the description down below. Right off the bat, my 2 favorite are Yet Another Squad Builder and Launch Bay Next, 2 fantastic squad builders that I use daily. And my reviews of those are coming up, and I'm going to show you how they address nearly all of the problems that the official squad builder had. And I had high hopes for this second version, but it didn't deliver. It cleaned up some things, but it just... The real problems are still there. And if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to have the conversation. Maybe there's some stuff I missed. Let me know. I'm more than willing to come back on maybe something that I missed. TLDR, it's pretty, but it doesn't deliver. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to catch us live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Gold Squadron Podcast. Gold Squadron, out.